thing right now that happens is you are happening. This is the happening space between you and understanding your you and the aspect of this full moon. So this very specific full moon falls in Libra, right? The exciting part of this is that there's so many powerful things that are moving you to raise your consciousness and alignment to who you are, right? So I want to go in and see, okay, first of all, have you read what I wrote?
Yeah.
Right. Did you understand it?
Yes.
Yeah?
You go through it, but yes, understood.
Okay, ask me the question. So by the way, it's just absolutely phenomenal. So the timing of it is beyond. Okay, because it went for a full consciousness, a full cleanup of everything and understanding the cycle. So before we just go into it, you understand,
I
okay?
think Jane's coming to do this too.
You can.
Grab a chair.
You can just grab a chair and just move in.
Text them, stop talking.
So what you want to go in and do is, okay, so where are you with, who, did you have the questions?
I do, but I can ask him when you get to that area if you want, not to
Go grab a chair.
bounce all over this.
So there's a,
It wasn't safe for her at all.
okay, stop that.
I'm saying, it went to Molly, then Arlene, then back to Molly.
That's fine, I can go to everybody, perfect. Let it do that.
You weren't even random, you were legit.
Molly, you want to scoot towards me some?
Oh, yeah.
Don't stay this side, so if the door needs to open it, open.
Got you.
You need a hot socket.
I have one, but it's too low. This is not a flattering angle.
Oh, she's like, no, then it needs to go up.
Why did you put it
Here, do you want me to video it? Because I haven't really.
I'm not entertaining anything that doesn't flatter me.
I don't think you do anyone that.
I've entertained it for 10 years now. I called it a size 2.
You know I'll get you right there.
I did.
Right angle here. Let's see.
Okay, look at your little thingy.
Jamie, do me a favor. Hit the mouse section on the computer. Like tap it?
Tap it.
Yeah. Thank you.
There we go. All right, that's perfect. You ready?
Ready.
Molly, you recording audio?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Moon and
Can
me.
you put it next to me?
So, Moon and me, and the power of understanding this full moon in Libra, what it means for you, why you should be excited, and what are you co-liberating yourself to do. Now, did I say co-liberating, right? What does that mean?
Libra, liberated.
So you are co-liberating. So what is that?
You're freeing yourself.
You're in Libra.
You are freeing yourself with who?
Yourself.
No, the universe.
Oh.
Okay, you are co-liberating. So this is the full moon that is sitting in Libra, that is coming in to co-liberate you. It's a co-liberating moon to free you up from what? So Libra is known for bringing in this heightened awareness to your emotional self. Okay? Libra is saying, okay, I'm coming here to balance you out. I'm coming here to show you where you are emotionally. I'm coming here to tell you and show you and signal you that how you are acting out and what you are feeling throughout the day, through your thoughts, are impacting and reacting to how you're responding to your life. And so, in this full moon, this cycle that's coming in, it's coming in as a full moon, all right, and we've just had an equinox, right? So what that means is a change of season, a change of time, a change of essence, and these rays of light that are coming in are saying, make sure that you're connecting and understanding so that you have enough discernment to go in and clear this up. So Libra is faith, balance, fairness. Alright? So where people get entangled emotionally is when they want to be superior, and when they want to be the one, or when they want to be the only one, or when they want to win at whatever. And so there is this unfairness game that plays in where? Your mind. It's only in your mind. It doesn't exist in the universe, because fair game, and I wrote about this, you have to go read about this, you've got to go read about Earth. This is your chosen planet, and Earth has what? A fair balance of everything.
Duality.
It has to be duality. Alright? To have the adventure, to have the extreme evolution, and to have it all, to understand this journey emotionally, physically, mentally, in all the spiritual realms of what this existence is for us on Earth, yeah, as humankind, alright? The fairness. Libra comes in as what?
The balance.
Our way.
So our way. Alright? So you somewhere in your chart have got Libra in either of your quadrants in your birth chart. You've got to figure out where it is for you.
And
But
once
in
we
this-
figure out where it is, then what?
But it doesn't make a difference. It's not about, this is not about you going in and checking where it is. Okay? That's not my work with you. Now, can you benefit from that? I'm sure you can, so that you can get into more specifics. But just remember, the more specific you are, the more in tune you are to those specifics. And if you've got a critical eye, or if you're competitive, or if you're wanting you never know where that might turn. So you have to generalize things to understand. So one, we are collaborating. But what are we? Collaborating with? Collaborating you from what? Your own emotional understanding and triggers that are not evolving. So you just got to remember, anger's never going to be peace. Anger's never going to be the fairy dust, fairy godmother that's going to come in and say, I grant you peace.
Bibbidi bobbidi boo.
Bibbidi bobbidi boo. You shall be angry when I point my finger at you. That's now more what anger is, right? But it's not, it's an emotion. And here's the other thing, okay? Anger is also an emotion that is in your emotional scale to let you know you're out of balance. So this is where Libra's coming in. Now, the reason I didn't want to have this conversation before is because now you've read Moon and Me, right? So you've read Moon and Me and you got it. It's brilliant, by the way. It's absolutely phenomenal. So what you're getting now is you are evolving. Your emotion self is more on top of this conscious wave, and you go, I'm getting this. All right, so now, how do you get this? Okay, Libra is saying, okay, weigh yourself. Weigh it. Weigh where you are. Weigh your emotional scale and figure out what is no longer getting you to feel good. Weigh you.
And how can you go more in depth on that? Like how the process to do that exactly? Like I
Right.
was saying, we have to be still and think about it, but
So you have to be. So the answer is no. You don't have to be still. You have to be still if you're never still. All right. So people that are just constant in meditation need to get action driven. So they have to weigh themselves. So there's a balance in everything. So you got to remember. So this specific Moon and Me, I mentioned, and I said, go look at Earth. Go read about Earth in this incredible, incredible resource book. Okay. Where if I go to Earth right now, my very first thing, and when I talk about Earth, okay, I'm like, oh my God, it's the planet you call home. So if this is home for you, then you need to know that if it's home for you, it's also home for how many billions and trillions of other human beings and other species. It's not only for humans. It's a planet. It's a planet of water. It's a planet of land. It's a planet of species. How many species? I don't know. Lots and lots and lots of species, but it's not just a home for humans. Everything has its space, and its space within its space in alignment to serve its higher purpose for our own evolution. So what is fair game for humans might not be fair game for another species. It's still their home. So it's just the evolution of that, right? So this full moon is saying, okay, where am I in this space I call home? And where am I emotionally? Don't go too deep into it. You don't need to know all the species. You don't need to. You just need to know, okay, I'm here to co-liberate myself from the species. Okay, I'm not too sure I'm not going to generalize, but a lot of us are what? A snake. It's their home too. Spiders. Rats. It's their home too. And there's a rat planet out there. I don't see any convoying or buses or aeroplanes transporting rats from another planet here. Unless there's a wormhole or something that's transporting these alien rats and immigrating to planet Earth. Do you know of anything? I don't know of anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
This is their home. Right? Are you guys getting this?
Yes.
Alright, so this is, I know, just like, whoa, I'm going to live with this. Right. Roaches. Same thing.
They've been here longer than all of us.
Right.
That's why you got the heebie-jeebies.
Right, exactly, same thing. But now, where is your attention to that? Because so what is law? Law is your frequency and your vibration. If your rats showing up, your roaches are showing up, your butterflies are showing up, your beetles are showing up, your snakes are showing up, the people are showing up, anger showing up. Those are your vibrational pinpoints emotion that Libra is saying. Okay, weigh yourself.
But what's it mean when those things show up?
You are vibrating to that.
But how? Like, what's that mean? Like, if, let's say there's roaches around, what's being vibrated for me to bring them?
You're not bringing them. You guys are connecting with a vibrational set point. It's a frequency. It's like a radio wave.
So how do I turn that radio wave up? And, you know, like.
So, great question. So how do you turn that? So you do your work. Okay. You use the tool that helps you the most, which is your breath. But people don't know how to breathe. They forget about that. Okay. And there are other spaces to go in and do that, and we speak about that, right? So how do you do that? Step by step. You take your step by step to do that. All right. I've actually got. We need to go back into that class about knowing who you are. And maybe what we need to probably do is do the deliberate class instead of one by one. I think you guys might get it a lot more if I start showing the difference, the different aspects of who you guys are, so that you know who you are and who you're not. Because you might get confused and thinking who you are. You are yourself. There's no other person that has the same blueprint as other people. So let's leave that for now. Let's stay on Moon and Me. And let's stay. So Moon and Me is all about what? You understanding who you are, so that you raise your vibration and mix it to what you are wanting to vibrate. Okay, so I speak about this very diligently. Okay, don't worry about that. I speak about this very clearly in what I've written in the Moon and Me. All right, it's very, very specific to this one. That Libra's saying is weigh yourself. Know that you're more than just your mind, all right? I actually have a huge article about this, and I want to go in and wrap this up about the mind stuff, okay? About your thinker, okay? Because you are so much more than your thoughts. However, are your thoughts controlling and deliberately creating your world?
Yeah.
All right? And that's what you got to weigh. What are they creating? What are they sharing? What are they communicating? What's that's gone past? So, where are we? Are we in the full moon right now?
Yes.
No,
We are?
No,
We're
we're
moving out of it.
We're not in the full moon. Where are we?
And the waning.
And what's waning? So
We're
full
actually,
moon.
we're more in between what is a full moon and waning. We're not in the waning yet.
Exactly. So, but
Yeah.
where are we?
In between.
Are we in the full moon?
Well, the full moon was
Precisely
just
no. We're
On the cusp.
what she just said.
Yeah, right in the
She's
middle.
pretty full.
Yeah, she's pretty full. In fact, I mentioned that she's a super moon.
Yeah. Power.
When
moon.
was it full? Like 2
It
days
was
ago?
Yesterday.
Yesterday it was full.
So
2 in the
yesterday, if you hadn't been doing your work, you would have been magnifying whatever your vibration was.
I
Right.
did my meeting all day yesterday.
I know.
Right. Okay. This doesn't happen just by coincidence. This happens because it is planned. It's divinely supported to share what's there. So, this full moon is supercharged as a super moon, okay, and we've just come out of an equinox, so it's a change of season.
Can I ask something on that real quick? So when you say with the supermoon, it was all magnified, so whatever happened yesterday, it was planned, it was meant to happen. So
No, things are not meant to happen. You're creating them to happen.
Okay.
You're not here by chance. You are creating every thought, and everything has a ripple effect. People go, I don't know why this happened to me. I'm like, well, I'm so surprised it did. Let's go back to how you're thinking. Let's go back to how you're feeling. Let's go back to what you're saying. Let's go back to what you're vibrating. Let's go back. Oh my God, I'm the creator of all of this. Right?
Okay,
Make
so what
sense?
I created yesterday.
So what you
was for
created
me,
yesterday is what?
Woke up and had breakfast with a bunch of friends, and went and did flag football, then had baseball practice for my son.
Right. So those are the
Family day,
semantics.
Family and friends.
Right. So how did you feel yesterday?
Good.
There
Had
you
a
go.
fun day.
There we go. So all you did yesterday is magnified your fun aspect of your own aspect of how you connect. The more you're into what feels good, the more you're creating that.
Mm-hmm.
The more you're into your mind and how it doesn't feel good, the more you're creating that. Right. But let's go back to this full moon, because there's information here that you want to take advantage of. And this information right now is one, this weighing aspect of this thread. And that's where you want to now personally take this on charge. If I'm going to do this class like this, I'm going to not answer just your questions. I'm going to tell you how to benefit from this. Right. So, who are you? What is your thread?
I control
So you control
what
what
I
you're
weigh
weighing.
every day.
Right. Okay. Jamie,
Feeler.
I feel what I'm weighing. I
Weight.
philosophize what I'm weighing. I
Communicate with them.
Oh.
communicate what I'm weighing.
I master.
I master what I'm weighing.
Control.
I control. I serve. Right. So let's go to the fullness of this, what this is. What has been in your past pattern that consciously has triggered an emotional thing that outweighs your performance to support a trigger? That's what Libra is saying now.
That puts it into big perspective for me.
Thank
Could
you.
you say that again? Because I'm following and I can't hear you.
Of
I'm
course you
crazy.
can't. Right.
Yeah. Please.
Yeah, and I've never seen Alvin go.
It's
She's become that Gucci.
an action-packed sentence.
It's
All of a sudden
recorded.
she can't hear me.
I know, right?
Right. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm going to give it to you in just the way you need to get it. Okay. Did you guys get that? Right. So, what didn't you get?
Any of it. The whole sentence.
That was
All
a
of
very
it.
long sentence.
All
it
of
was
it.
like, when is she gonna take her breath?
No, I wasn't even thinking that. I don't know. I just was like, I couldn't. It was crazy.
Okay, I can't even repeat it now.
So,
I can't.
so the gist.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, so emotionally, so what I'm sharing, okay, I know exactly what you're doing. Okay, so I spoke about this about immunity. Did I speak about your mind?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
What did I talk about your mind?
Churning.
Sharon.
So do it from your heart, not your mind.
Right, so you are overthinking this process.
Okay.
Okay, that's what you're doing.
Okay.
Right, you can't think how to be angry. You feel anger.
Right.
Okay, if your mind is saying all these crazy things, they're emotionally churning and revving up the doorways of your past, not of what is. It can only be the past. That means that you're overpowering, you're overweighing everything emotionally in your mind. Your mind cannot feel. It can only think from aspects of your past self.
Mm.
Bottom
But
line.
it's thinking about emotions of your past self, right?
Can't think of emotions of your past self because an emotion can only be in the present. Emotion is not in the past. If an emotion
But
lives
how
in the
you
past,
felt
then it's a
then.
memory,
So they're
not an emotion.
thinking about the memory of how you felt.
It's a memory.
Oh wow.
It's a memory, guys. You guys are being fed by the shadows of what is outweighing your emotional aspect of who you are not.
Mm.
Did I say that again?
I'm not getting that memory. Like,
Of course not,
The
because
impact of
you're, yes. Okay, because it has to be relevant. So let's go back to the beginning. full moons are all about you what?
Letting go.
Coming into full spectrum, understanding that the house is full, it's been magnified. This is a super moon, so it's super magnified on what?
Amplified.
Amplified in what? In what Libra is coming in. Who's the one that's coming in this moon and saying, weigh your emotional self, keep it fair. Who is it? It's Libra.
Libra.
And by the way, Libra is the king of kings of the past ancestors. Like the old Egyptians, we believe that Libra is the fair goddess of fairness, which
Yeah.
is your symbol of truth. This is what truth is. This is a symbol that everything has to exist on par. There is so much good, there is so much shadows, there is so much light, there is so much darkness. But it's truth that there is only light. There is no darkness. Darkness comes from your memories, from your actions. There is no darkness.
Well, also,
Darkness doesn't exist.
is it also your interpretations of your
Your
memories?
perception and interpretations of what? Your past.
Mhm.
Emotional memories of the thoughts that you have had, or you've shared thoughts to somebody else that triggered an emotion that was unbalanced in the spectrum of you not being free and being a slave. To who?
You.
To your past. To a thought that was riddled in what? Fear,
Fear.
destructiveness, struggle, lack, nothing that exists in the truth. Are we filming this?
Yeah.
Good. Right. Make sense?
Yeah. You're like, damn, I'm good. Somebody film this.
Right. Not for that, just I'm thinking of
It is
Joe,
good.
I'm thinking of Karen, I'm
Yeah.
thinking of Melanie Ensley right now, I'm thinking of all these people that are doing this work. Get this. There is nothing that's happening to you. You are the creators of your own existence. You have to play ball. There's a law spectrum here. Right? Okay. And the more you judge in the spectrum of this new light, in this fullness and what's amplified, you better handle what your own judgment is of yourself and others. You better.
I'm screwed.
Right. No, you're not.
Not at all.
You used to be.
Yeah.
Well, and then the earth part, what I got out of it is that these past things that come up are coming up for a reason so that you can do something with it, right? Like,
It all is coincidental of your own interpretation, right? So, nothing is by coincidence. Everything is interpretation of your own manifestation. Even when stuff is not happening to where you want it to be, you're still moving towards where you want to go because there's enough of a contrast, there's enough of a desire. You go, holy shit, this is not what I want. So guess what? Now you're all pepped up and getting I better pay attention. Because I want what I want, not what I don't want. But then if you're not co-liberating yourself, great word, co-liberating yourself with what? With yourself, then you never let go of that language that holds you bonded to the memories of the past, not your emotional self.
So how do we co-liberate with ourselves?
You stay tuned in to what feels good,
Okay.
not your mind. Your mind can never take you there.
Well, I'm so good at
I
that,
have
man.
two emotions, two minds. every
Yeah,
day with the
your
twins.
mind can never take you there. Napoleon Hill is a fabulous influencer. I love Napoleon Hill, but I will challenge Napoleon Hill in this space of my mind because if I can talk and say, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, and I don't feel it, then I will never be rich
Or take action. Right.
because you've got to take inspired action versus action. And not to bring down Napoleon Hill, I love Napoleon Hill. I think Napoleon Hill was a great, great, great inspiration and influencer of how the mind works. But go read Napoleon Hill. Go read Napoleon Hill and you'll watch in the back section of that book. Because I know that's been about the only book that I kind of read many years ago. And they just showed me, okay, in the back of the book, he sits around a table of invisible people that are non-physical aspects of who he wants around his divine table. So Napoleon Hill is connecting spiritually to those ambassadors and counselors of this emotional state of being, understanding that you can talk all you want, but if you do not collect your spiritual self and line up, it ain't gonna happen. That's my interpretation, not somebody else's interpretation. Got it. Alright, so full moon is just a great opportunity. It opens up the doorway to you let go of what? And this is where you want to start getting decisive, clear. Okay, forget about everything that you want to let go of. What matters the most? Libra. What's Libra saying? Everything that you feel is not fair. Let it go. Everything that what?
Throwing out of balance.
Is out of balance for you. Not for the world. This is not a time for you to bring up your voice and go rallying around, because if you're going to go rally around, all you're going to do is bring that injustice to who? You. Go rally for your well-being. If you need to have a board saying up, do good, rather put the board saying, I'm good. There you go. Do you know, if you're going to rally for something, rally for yourself. This is not that time and space to go do that, because of this new season that the equinox brings up and lines up with what? These planets. In what? In Aquarius. Everything's very fluid right now. Everything is very streamlined right now. Everything is very telepathic. And if you don't know the difference between your mind and your emotions and your feelings, well, then you're going to have to learn. Buckle up. Get some armbands, flippers, snorkel. It's going to get bumpy. Or just get your oxygen tank so that you can go out there and pick up what needs to be picked up. Okay, make sense?
So like yesterday, you know, I tap into emotion, and then I kind of knew where that would come from. Then I kind of used my mind to explain that. Is that what you're supposed to do?
No. Your mind can't explain anything about your emotions. They live in two different worlds. Your mind can only justify and think what the cause is. Your emotion knows where it comes from. It comes from an imbalance. That's it. Or it comes from what? A balance.
Yeah. Positive.
It's one or the other.
Okay.
And so what does Earth teach you? You need both positive and negative for this world to be charged up, to be lit up. A world that is just filled with positives would be like little dummies. Teletubbies.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
That was a really good impression.
I forgot what to tell
I got a little shook right now.
Which shape do you have growing on your forehead?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Tinky Winky.
Oh, but you don't know who Patrick the Star is.
I
Okay.
know, right? Okay, got it. Awesome. Okay, question. So, brilliant moon. I mean, I was absolutely moved and inspired by every aspect of this moon. I am continuously inspired, okay, to further understand, okay, all right, what's fair, what's not fair, what creates, what uncreates, what serves. And so you just listen. You listen to the follow aspect of it. So this is Libra. And what's Libra telling you? What's weighing you down? Check in. What is weighing you down? Okay, bring that aspect into balance. Okay, understand that there's got to be a balance between what? Light and dark. Who chooses? You do. Not one house do I know of, not one project. Go to any architecture, go to anything. There is no light switch that says dark switch. Unless I'm wrong. I just call them light switches. Switch on the light, gets dark, switch it on.
It's $1 billion idea.
Yeah.
Few bucks.
Bring the darkness in.
Create a dark switch.
Right. Make sense? Right. So, questions.
So I have a question kind of on that where what you're saying here is feel the pulse of what to let go of that is interfering in you being connected at the highest level to serve you. And as you read what is truth for you, you will receive and get it.
Right. So the reason I say that before you ask me the question, what Amy's talking about is this book is written in segments. So the segment of this book is each planet has a segment and a vibration. It's not so much the words that you need to read yet, it's more what pulses through you. What's that vibration, that segment of that signals your truth, right? You might read this, not feel anything. All of a sudden you read and go, oh, that is it. I didn't even read this. I didn't even understand this the last time. Right, because that's the resource. This is not a book that's been edited by any mind. This is a book that has been written and channeled by the Divine Spirit with a pulsing, vibrating connector to connect you to your truth at that moment. So that's why I say, feel that pulse of truth. And this is it. So Libra pulses. So Libra saying, okay, you will know what's unfair for you. You will know where you are. You will know what your emotions are. You will know what it is. And a lot of these entangled and struggles and energetic emotions are stuck to the mind, because the mind is influenced by what?
Past memories.
Fears and motivations. It's a computer. What you have programmed there. So what do you know? Who's programmed you? Who's influenced you? Whose thoughts are you reading? Whose thoughts are you projecting? What are you translating? The mind can only tap into this great mind and the universal mind. Right? Make sense? So the mind cannot get you there. Now create a deliberate creative thought process that empowers every thought that is balanced with your emotional self. It's called genius. Right? Make sense? Yeah? So, a couple of things that you want to pay attention to in this cycle. One, okay, so you're getting out of these emotional triggers. But what are you getting into? So you're leaving a supermoon, and the supermoon is going into where? A waning moon. So what's it moving away? So it's moving away from what? What's been magnified. Right?
Yeah. Well, you no longer want it in your life, right?
No, it's not what you no longer want. You've got to think about it. So we use it. I use it as a spectrum where there's two things that your mind understands. Alright? So we often talk about this. Comes the full moon, the werewolf is out, the hospitals are going crazy, all the crazies are there. If they are crazy, it's because there's something crazy there. Have you ever thought of the complete opposite of that and the polar opposite of that, which is the brilliance of it? Imagine you being absolutely magnified and aligned with your soul purpose.
If you could just tell us what that is.
It is within you. Your purpose here is to create and evolve, to get to those spaces. Even if you're just there for a second, boom, I feel it. I'm magnified, I'm brilliant, I'm magnificent, I feel aligned into my core right now, right in this space. There, you got it. You can't stay in that space. Why? Because we're on planet Earth. You're here to co-liberate yourself from these thoughts and from these spaces, okay, that are not evolving,
Right,
because
continue
you are
to
getting
evolve.
stuck in your memories of the past.
And the longer.
If you didn't have the past and you were Dory every day, you'd be happy.
Just
Oh, how are you? Haven't you found out that you like so happy to see a new friend? Finally, a new friend is not going to judge me. Hello, how are you? And then give her an hour to, I don't like her. She looked at me in a funny way. But it's in that newness of having a new friend and going, that chick was so cool, until she gives you that look. Chick's a bitch. Right? Why? Because she triggers some kind of fear or insecurity within you, right? What's being translated? An energy wavelength that you are reading into. How? Through your skin. That's why I say bath.
Sensory
Let it go. Anybody that's triggered you, anybody that you've called a bitch, let them go. Anybody that's ruffled your feathers, anybody that's created some kind of stuff within you that doesn't sit well, let it go. Because if you don't, there's one constant thing the universe is going to come and tell you. Hello,
I'm back.
here we are. Right?
Look
Makes
who's
sense?
back.
Back
again.
Right? Does that make sense? Okay, so full moon, Libra. But why do I talk about these planets? The planets come in with an influence. Venus is a big one, but it's how beautiful was this moon? She was in her beauty.
Glory.
She
Even before
was
she got here, she was
in
covered
her
up.
glory. You know when it's a Venus moon. You know, you just know. You just know. It's just like, oh, it radiates. So it radiates its vibration. So you want to get there. And if you didn't feel the Venus beauty and all of that, and you got a bit of a contrast of that, don't worry. It's right there. Flip that switch and it's right there for you. If you're getting stuck in the entanglement of what comes up and you're still having tantrums, then you need to pay attention to your inner triggers so that you're able to let those go. And sometimes it needs discipline in a routine and something that's absolutely fun. Okay, we know about that. That's why I love Solar Bar. Okay, sometimes warrior's breath. Okay, we're at 2 warrior's breath here this week. Why? Because it's an energy that just needs to be reminded. Hey, what's this? Just needs to be reminded. Okay, and everyone needs that reminder of incredible and great and fabulous you are. Because if you don't remind yourself of that, the chaos will override you. Right? So the planets. Each planet has its very specific. You speak to any astrologer right now, they will go. That's why they read in degrees. I'll never forget the circle that we read. It's like 23 degrees, 8 degrees, 18 degrees, 90 degrees, 45 degrees. All those degrees make a difference. Why? Because it's a radio station. Where they come in the degrees and the angles, and it's a radio station. Okay, however, if you don't get out of those frequencies and those, they attach to you. It's a frequency. That's why astrologers are not very informative. That's why you have this circus of moon and me, of people going into these moon signs. Everyone is an astrologer right now, just like as everybody's a spiritual guru right now. Why? Because the old people are saturated. They haven't let go of that 23-degree angle is still vibrating, and then it's coming in another 800 years. We better stay close and stay on this. Because they missed something, but they were aware of it. As quickly as you got in, you've got to get out as well. Because it's a frequency. So either that frequency is going to dominate you, or you dominate it. That's it. Play the game. So I'm not an astrologer, I can talk like this. But if I was an astrologer, I'd say, 8 degrees, man. Just telling you. And I know it's 8 degrees. Guaranteed it's 8 degrees. Because it triggers everything inside of me right now. Like I know. Guaranteed it's 8 degrees. Actually, I'm going to find out.
It is.
How do you know?
Because I already saw it this morning.
With who?
An astrologer.
You did?
Yep.
You listen to astrologers?
No.
Somebody got triggered.
No. This is good, yeah.
It showed up on my feed. It was the AA. Yeah, it was. I don't even know how. Maybe it was an ad or something, and it talked about the 8 degrees.
That's funny.
No
I
way.
swear.
That's
Sweet.
awesome.
She's my best friend. She's not validating friend. She validates me. Sastu, she's Sastu. We were the same clothes.
No, actually, you're smaller.
Oh, that's true. The same. We're going to a little bit of
I had to buy another jacket because it was too big, too small for her, and it fit her perfect.
Right. it was too small for me.
It's so
But the
funny.
line on the shoulders came
And
back
it
way
worked
up
out
here.
great because you were reading her and really thinking about me.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So 8 degrees. Really,
It was,
for real.
and I was like, "What does that mean?" And I just kept scrolling.
Okay. So let me tell you what it means for Vanda. I don't know what it means for.
I don't. I
Ray.
didn't read it.
So, but anything that's on 8 degrees lines a frequency of infinite pattern.
Infinite pattern.
Infinite pattern. Okay, so anything that has an infinite pattern has the ability to have the duality of reincarnation. Alright, so it's like you're coming back and doing the same thing over and over and over and over again on the lower spectrum of a lower frequency. On a higher frequency, you're looping, but every time you're looping, you're washing the debris out, and so your waters become clearer. And then you loop again, and your waters become clearer. And you loop again, and your waters become clearer. That's the space. Where does it live? All in the same 8-degree channel. Okay? I did this with you guys.
Wow.
I did this with you
I
guys.
gave birth
You
to
did.
I gave birth to an 8.
Oh yeah, you
have
got.
an
8. How about that? Wow.
Like someone born on the 8th?
Where's
My
my?
daughter,
Who did the vision workshop?
Yeah.
Right, it's there. I did it.
In Flint Loop. You talked
Yes.
about it.
Right. Infinite loop. It's infinite loop. So right now what's going on, okay, so it won't be there anymore. So either it's there or, so I know for Vanda,
How's an infinite loop just go away? Just curious.
you don't want it to go away.
That
You wanna be part of the
That's our,
washing-
that's our
washing
evolution. There's our lives are forever, eternal, they're infinite. That infinite sine and loop will never go away. It's your job to raise its frequency and vibration from the lower frequencies and residues that you carry. That's why the moon comes
bring
in.
back what you want.
Focus on clearing the water.
Filter.
So you are two things. One, your energy. The other thing, you are water. You're a body of water. So your body is a connection of all the things that are emotional. It's everything that you feel.
So you were starting to say two things. There's two things our minds understand. But what are those two things?
They don't understand. They calculate and formulate on what you've experienced. There's no mind that understands.
I think you said there's only two things your mind understands.
The past and what you've done and what you've experienced.
Memories.
Yeah.
Memories. That's what your mind remembers. And that's
You're
the problem.
not your mind.
Unless you
I
allow it
think-
to do that.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean,
I think I am great, therefore I am. Huh? I am great.
I
The
think
folks that don't think I'm great move out so that you can express exactly who I am. That is so perfect. I have to go talk to my thinker. My thinker thinks it's controlling me. It's not. So undisciplined minds create nonsense.
Busy
I was
work.
going to say chaos.
Yeah.
So,
Nonsense.
undisciplined minds
Create
are
nonsense.
also creative minds because we have channels that open up into this creative space that can't be disciplined so that there's a creative flow of magnificent possibility. You speak to any artist, remember when we speak to these artists, they battle to have structure, to have disciplines, to have order and they're brilliant. But there's an out of balance spectrum. So it's like bringing the artist into you. I mean, we've spoken to this about so many years. Like you're a great example of your own transformation as an artist, right? There's so many artists that just cannot function. They just can't. Yet they're brilliant, right? In every single way that you can imagine, except their personal lives. That's why you'll find they're either on drugs or they're heavily medicated or their relationships have gone haywire or they can't manage their money or whatever, because it goes into this, it's creativity, it just goes.
So you mentioned in here, mind-oriented people are very often closing off their heart and
Right.
subjected to untrusting relationship struggles.
Right.
Can you just dive a little deeper into that?
Right, so the mind can only perform from what it understands. Understands in the relationship of the past experience and the memory. Okay, so the mind cannot feel. So it has a repetitive pattern. So the mind goes there, so it closes off the heart because it doesn't need the heart.
That or else it's just only remembering past
Experiences,
relationships.
past relationships. So if you come from a past relationship where you don't trust, then you go, oh,
Or
I
their
don't trust that.
struggles or
Yeah, I don't trust that person. Why? I don't know. They look. I don't know. Their nose just goes like something like my father. I don't trust my father. So it triggers all of those thought processes, and then the thought process triggers it so deep to the subconscious that emotionally it brings that up. For what? For it to be released. But then the mind rechurns it. This is happening to me again. How many of us say that?
Never.
This has happened to me again.
this is a circle of trust,
Wow.
Arlene.
Right. This has happened to me again. Okay, if it's happened to you again and it's coming up, it's another layer. Now, know
You're
who,
recycling it back.
know
to
who
that.
you are. I speak about in your vision. Know who you are, because her happening again is not happening again. She's gone deeper because she's far more psychically attuned, where somebody's far more just intuitive. Different depths, right? That's why people go, oh, this is happening to me again and this is happening. No, don't compare, don't complain, and don't criticize. Oh, Darlene. Hold on, I just gotta get rid of Darlene quickly. Don't compare and don't complain. Darlene. Okay, I just need to do something. I'm gonna bring her back in to do something. Don't compare. You're not the same of where you were last week. Don't think it's coming up again. If it's coming up again, it's a vibrational twist or trigger that wants to be it again because it's got no other way to go. You are the one that's going to create that or not. Right.
That's what you talk about. You bring it back.
You bring it back.
Well, how do you know if it's your mind or your intuition? Because
Your mind is like very authoritative, loud, and criticizing, and ugly. It makes you feel ugly. Yeah. Your intuition is very soft and loving and very peaceful.
well, like sometimes, I mean, I've seen like the shape of someone's head and be like, no, I can't. Like, you know, how do you know that's? I mean, I don't have any way to explain why.
So that's a psycho translation. It means your psychic ability is being enhanced, and the memory of that can translate into a lot of different things.
What?
She won't know.
She wants you to tweak that a little bit.
These little
So that means that your psychosis, your psychoanalyzing process is able to interpret something that's going on with there, and you have to be very strong in bringing it back
Bringing it back to it.
to where you are able to stay poised and not go.
Oh shit.
It's a good thing I don't have those abilities because I always go.
Right. Makes sense? So it's just because so you're psychic. Psychic people have to cleanse. I'm just going to tell you right now. And everyone is psychic. It's just some are more psychically attuned than others, so your degree of your work is this. But if you think like you've got to do much more work than others because you're not only psychic, you're intuitive, you're empathic, and you're an artist.
Okay.
If you were a psychic accountant, to be very different.
To be rich?
my life would be so easy. I go back
Be
to
very
school.
different.
Make a new career choice.
Yeah, exactly.
A psychic accountant, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. She would find something out. These numbers are fucking wrong. This calculator does not work.
Yeah, it would be better than a Jewish accountant.
Just love who you are. You've chosen who you are. You've chosen your careers for a different reason. Stay as long as you need to stay. Right, full moon. Anything else on full moon? This full moon is absolutely phenomenal. We're
Incredible.
moving out of the full moon and we're going into a waning moon. So what does that mean? What's a waning moon?
Where you have the ability to work on your things that you set up.
To let go.
Or no, you were letting go.
No.
To let go, maybe that's
Full
why.
moon amplifies what's there for you.
Full moon amplifies. What's a waning moon?
Have you let go of what you've asked to let go of? Otherwise, you're gonna bring it back and make it new again.
What does the waning moon say?
This is the transition the moon takes as it goes back to the new moon.
So a waning moon comes from where?
It comes from the full moon.
No, it doesn't come from the full moon.
It's a cycle.
Because
It's a cycle. It has its own. Okay, there are 8 aspects to the moon. I speak about the 4 aspects of the most prominent moon cycles so that you can get this. If you don't get one aspect and you go straight into all 8 aspects, like everybody's like, you and I spoke about this. Okay, but there's 8 cycles. You will never get out of any not one cycle.
so where does it come from then?
It comes from itself. It's a
That's
process.
the moon,
It's a
right?
cycle. The moon is the moon.
Right.
The moon doesn't change. That's how it rotates.
I said from the moon, right?
Doesn't come from the moon. The moon doesn't change, guys.
But it is the moon.
It only is the moon.
It's a cycle of the moon.
No. It's the cycle that we as planet Earth
Oh, we measure.
experience.
Our
The moon doesn't change, the moon's the same.
gotcha.
Gotcha! Have you ever seen, the moon's still there.
Yeah, we're just at a different angle. Seeing it
You just
differently.
receive that vibrational from the cycle.
Well, we see it differently because we're moving.
Yes, it's a cycle. It's like seasons.
Yeah.
The moon doesn't change. Where does it come from? It's a cycle, it's a waning moon. So what does this cycle bring us and tells us?
Transition moon takes it goes back.
So this is the transition that the moon takes as it goes back to what? It's a new moon cycle. For who? For us.
Yeah.
Not for the moon.
The moon's still
The moon's like thinking, you
Dumbass. You dumbass. Now I gotta take you back to the waxing moon. Which means I'd like to whack you over the head. You need a whacking moon.
You guys got
the moon the whole time.
Yeah, the waning moon is the whining moon, and the
Okay,
whacking
so
moon
now
is the
this is
whacking
what's
moon.
interesting. Once you read this, by the way, I love this book. So it is during this phase that you want to raise your awareness to allow what you have asked to be let go of, to let it happen, which is exactly what Dana was saying. Do you have the ability to let it go? And this is where it gets you.
Michael, do you want me to go?
If you are emotionally what? Attached. And you haven't liberated yourself, then it gets caught up in that cycle, and then you deal with it in another spectrum.
Because you say the last transition leads us all back into the new moon. But don't be misled or ignoring the influences of the planets, as not one moon cycle is ever the same as the other. Remember this.
Right. So people go, new moon again? Oh, I've done that. I'm like,
It's like reading the ray of light. I've read some of them 100 times and it's different every time.
Every
they're
time,
never
right?
the same.
Never
It's
the
like,
same.
it's like, man, you sit
Somebody's
together.
argued with me saying that I've rewritten the book.
I know. She changes.
Are you
Melanie
serious?
Ainsley recently did that. She goes, when did she rewrite this?
That's
She has
hilarious.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Right.
Kind of.
And the other one is my staff therapy. Oh, when did you rewrite this card? Never.
You're just reading it from a different place.
Every
Right,
time.
different vibration.
Yeah.
All right, guys, take a deep breath in.
I have
So-
a question.
Tell me.
She's like mid-breath.
You said watch out for your cravings.
Right.
Venus.
So your cravings, so your cravings could be, what are you craving? So
So don't trust them.
no, absolutely trust
Be
your
aware.
Just
Be
listen
aware.
to your craving.
What is your
What
craving?
are
Is
you
it
craving?
Are you craving to be loved? Then go and love.
You're craving
But if you're
chocolate.
craving, to like fucking fuck somebody up, that's not a good craving.
Oh,
She says
Move
right-
out of that one. Quickly.
But the cravings could also come in. The cravings could also come in like chocolate.
Yeah, I was related to food because I did feel
So
I ate
food.
like cereal yesterday and all that stuff.
She says right here, her energy is tempting to say the least, as it is easy to slip into indulgences when Venus is in retro. But that's okay. She's still vibrating very high. The old patterns of that may be lingering around food, sex, and alcohol and chocolate. It doesn't say chocolate.
Okay, but chocolate is, if you're eating pure chocolate and cacao and chocolate, it's because you're craving joy.
Sweetness.
You're craving that sweetness. So listen,
Enjoy.
enjoy.
Yeah.
Okay?
She's the goddess
Alcohol,
of love.
If you're
alcohol
You're looking to
is
escape.
not a bad
Always.
thing.
No, it's a great thing.
Alcohol is a great thing.
I think it's great.
Okay? It's how you interpret what alcohol is. Sex is a great thing.
Yeah.
It all interprets how you interpret it.
Everything in moderation.
There ain't nothing wrong with
Listen,
that.
Everything
anybody.
depends on who you deal with.
And it
Thing in
depends
advance.
on
Told
the
you.
interaction and all of that.
I've
So
been
your
saying
craving
it.
would be listening to what it means to you.
But it could be
I did the
you're
argument.
Outside of
craving
your mind,
that
though.
person. You know.
Yeah.
Outside of your mind. So like a craving for a soul food, something that brings you back that memory, something that feels you great,
Back home.
all of that.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
watch out for your indulgences, because if it's something that brings you lower, then you want to stay away from
Well,
it.
the next sentence is watch out for the glamour.
Yeah.
It's where you are.
Yeah,
She gives it all to you right there.
Right. But I'm saying watch out for you to really be aware, right?
Oh, okay.
Just raise your awareness, because sometimes you need to indulge in something to feel, okay, I'm good,
I'm done.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because if you don't ever get to that
If it's
place,
monotony,
Yeah, you would.
right?
if you don't ever get to that place, then how do you know you're full?
Or how do you know that you want something
Right,
else?
that's something it is. I want it. Go have it. I feel like this. Go do it. That was such a bad idea. Great.
Lesson
But you said for me to go do it. You wanted to.
Yeah.
Listen to yourself. Listen. And then you're quickly going to find out that who you're listening to is not the one you should be listening to. Right?
Yeah.
You have to fall off your bike, because if you don't know what it feels like to fall, then
Right.
you got to get back up and get back on it.
But
Absolutely.
you might fall off that bike and need
That's
somebody
right.
great.
But next time you might have a helmet or some
Yeah.
Or
pads
maybe you
or
fell off that bike
whatever.
and you get hurt and
Right,
somebody
right,
comes
right.
and
Oh yeah.
makes you feel better and then all of a
Right,
sudden
okay, so
you're-
let me share something
Friends.
Or you
quickly
get on
about
your poise and you're like, yeah, I think I'm done with that one.
Right, exactly. So there's evolution, right?
Mhm.
Don't keep on doing the same thing over and over again, because it's now a habit.
Mm.
Right. So you guys are getting ready. We're about to get ready and take you guys into Light Warrior. I just got to finish a couple of people with your vision and what you deliberately create, so I can go into Light Warrior. That's what's happening. What we're kind of redoing now. And not redoing, taking the people into that next phase. Huh?
Let me turn that off.
Oh, you can take it off, yeah. That's fine. Thank you. So great meeting me, guys. Just stay tuned. Vcoin. Put it on for the Vcoin quickly. Let's just talk a little bit about your Vcoin. So I'm a little bit excited about this because we went digital, right? And so what the Vcoin reminded me is that there is so much prosperity in your spiritual growth. I love that. So the more I'm into the Vcoin, the more energetically and spiritually I'm feeling this grand fortune of just this wealth transference that I've been talking for the last 2 decades. And so I'm excited with this Vcoin because the more you know who you are being through these cycles, the more you line up, and the more you line up, the more you're going to tap into everything that you want. As long as you don't compare yourself to other people. So the Vcoin is used purposely for you to just go shop and get your tools, okay, versus to just getting tools sent to you. Now we love the tools being sent to you, okay, but the Vcoin just gives you that thing. All right, here's your money. Go choose the tool that you know at this stage that will work for you, right? So that you're also listening. You know what? I'm gonna get that because there's power in that. And so what it does, it strengthens your heaven, and then it really, really, really grounds and strengthens your connection to earth. And so in that paradigm, that's when you stay protected, when both your heaven and your earth are strengthened. And that comes from you emotionally being balanced and clear. And so I'm loving the energy and the spiritual awareness around the Vcoin. So I'm loving that. Any questions on that?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So the Vcoins, like that, we'll get a Vcoin credit type of thing every month in our bank, right?
Uh-huh.
So the bank can just keep adding up every month,
Right?
or
So
use
not yet.
whatever we want.
Well,
or whatever.
I didn't think about this.
No.
So I've got the Vcoin without the bank.
No,
Now I need a
okay.
bank.
Okay.
Do the V-coins roll over?
They will.
Not right
They're
now.
not really posed right
Do
now.
they do
Right
the
now.
8?
If you don't use them, you lose them.
Yeah.
Right now, if you don't use them, you lose them.
But will we get them credited back if we
T-Mobile
don't use
doesn't
them?
do that.
Will you make the transition to
No.
your bank?
Because I won't know how to record that.
Yeah.
Use them or lose them.
So we
So
all
it's not a
have
little bit.
$15 right now for the month.
Right.
Yeah, $15 right now for the month. You use it
Until April. Until 2 days from now. Correct?
until 2 days later. You don't use it, you lose it. Isn't that great? 2
I need to go shopping.
But you were 2 weeks late sending it out.
Yes.
So maybe give
You know
it
what?
an
Oh, sorry.
extension.
She's in my energy now.
I'm trying to help you guys.
She's in my energy.
So I'm not in your energy. I'm not saying
I'm
sorry.
joking.
We're gonna create. It's that
We can't
pencil.
create that right now.
Excuse me.
A bank.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
We are creating that. Right
Okay.
now. Use
bank?
it or lose it.
Okay.
The choice is yours. Okay, you've got a whole month to choose. I mean, in 2 days you can go shop.
Yeah, I have an idea for that too.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And we're just gonna go. If you guys have any ideas or brilliant blue plans, we'll use them.
Yeah, listen, tell us what you think. You know, we'd like to know.
Right. Good.
Feedback comes to me on Bitcoin. Yeah.
Right.
We want to make
I love the
the
Bitcoin,
best.
by the way.
Oh God, I love it in the box.
I
and it
love-
explodes.
Let me
So
tell
cute.
you,
I
I've got
haven't
this
seen that.
funny
Yeah.
thing.
I didn't see it. A box explode on me.
You didn't see the little box going like this, and then the Bitcoin spins.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Oh, so cute.
So how do you get the Bitcoins again?
I was laying in bed when I
You,
got.
you only get a VCoin now if you're a Moon and Me member.
Yes, you are.
Alright, so guess what happened? So I'm a little bit tickled. I've got somebody in South Africa, actually a friend of mine that was going to do it, passed away. I'm like, well, that's a bummer. You're going to have to send it to me from up there, but I still need someone physically. I'm going to go make that VCoin into a gold coin. I know I'm going to, so I might as well just tell you. I'm going to. Like, if there's anything I'm going to do, that's what I'm going to do.
How about
If there's one, don't video that.
I'm not.
This is just for,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm letting you know what.
And then soon,
So-
you're going to be able to get on the Bitcoin, and you're going to be able to buy Bitcoin.
So are they gonna accrue
And the
interest
Bitcoin
stuff?
is called, the price is priceless.
Oh no, that's an NFT. That's what they're doing now.
That's what
They're
I was-
attaching.
What's that?
An NFT is an artwork attached to a cryptocurrency coin.
Yeah, cryptocurrency.
So
Yeah.
you can have your artwork as an artist attached to the coin, and it's supposed to bring its value up more.
Listen to me. I think God's got a big plan. I'm just going to let you know. Oh, sorry, you're not a worker. Oh, I'm so sorry. I am so... You're angry? Oh, I'm so... Minus. Minus! You doing some work? Perfect.
Every time I have a hot flash and Kyle looks at me, he's like, God, when is this going to stop? It says it's internal anger. I'm internal angering.
Right. This is great. Just have your journey. Just do what you need to do. All
Stay
right.
light and have fun with it.
Yeah.
Right.
And
So
lighten
we've
up.
got our own stuff that we have to work through. So just bring forward. What I do want to do is I want to get ready. So, like you guys are ready for your deliberate, the next one after this. Okay. Like you. How was Warrior's Breath? Phenomenal, right? Right.
So it's humbling.
Okay. So you get there, and just remember, you go through phases and cycles.
Yeah.
Okay, like right now you're on a bust it or beat it, right? But you're not going to stay on the cycle the whole time, right? You've also got to let it just,
Right.
right, you just got to let, you're not supposed to be barking all the time, you're not supposed to be solving all the time, you're not supposed to be doing all this, you're not just what, you're supposed to be doing what it is at that moment that helps you, that's it. Right, you good?
I'm good.
Right. So what we do want to do, which
I
is
didn't
our
use
concept,
mine.
huh?
I'm see you tomorrow.
So anybody that wants to do,
That's it, because
Yeah.
once this is out,
anybody that wants to
Just
do
like,
the
oh.
vision workshop,
this is-
another round for you, not a double round, just a one, like, if
Okay.
you want to do it, I just have to see, because you've already done it, right?
I need to go into the aspects with you.
The what?
The aspects.
Aspects.
My
Right.
aspects.
So know who
that's the
you
second
are.
part.
Yeah.
So in this setting here, what I felt from you guys, I think if I did it as a group, you guys would probably get a lot more, okay? Because you'd be too focused on my vibration. And if I can go into all these different aspects, you'll go, wait a minute, I do that too. Oh, I do that too, versus just your aspects. So it actually could be an accelerator. I'm going to check. I'll let you know once I clear out Gary, because I'm doing very specific work today. Once I clear him out, I'll go check if the deliberate workshop, if the deliberate 3 sessions could turn into a group session. I think you guys, I just got today that you'd be able to do lots more with it.
Well, and understand each other, right?
Well, it's not about us, it's more understanding you through
Right.
each other's relationship with what you've got. Yeah.
That's
Very
true.
good, yeah.
Yeah.
I got that today, yeah. That's what I got. I would prefer to do it, and maybe it's just a cycle, and maybe it's you want to go do it again. Not now, though. I think the first one needs to be as a group one. All right?
Cool.
This work is awesome.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks.
Thank you.
This work is really, really, really
It's
awesome.
so helpful just to hear you, first of all, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
but just to talk it out loud.
But
You
this
know,
is not our norm because today was just a blessing to have her availability to do this. I mean, and you and I were talking about like in Buckhead,
Mm-hmm.
and she said in Buckhead, and she reminded me this was not something that she was going to carry on doing. It was her passing that light on to us.
Right,
That's
as a
why
community, right.
Moon and
Yeah,
Me
we're-
buddies
yeah.
and doing, you know.
And that's even what I said with
So-
you the other day, like just
And it's
just
not that she
talking
doesn't-
it out.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's map this out. Okay, so let's talk about what is it that you need for Moon and Me. Do you need what is it that you need? You guys are working Moon and Me.
Yeah.
So
On my own, I feel like I need more of a community in a sense that to get different perspectives or to ask questions or to see a different perspective, you know?
okay, so let me tell you, the talks on Clubhouse that I've had, okay, I tapped into a whole different energy that I've even written or spoken about.
Mhm. No,
Because it was just whatever got asked.
I get that completely.
So you've got to understand that I could have another class coming in now with Moon and Me. I would probably not even touch this conversation.
It'd be totally different.
I would go into a whole different conversation because it's not something that I'm like, oh, I'm not preparing for this.
Right.
You know, I'm like, oh, let me go read what I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing that, it's like, somewhere I must have a adapter somewhere. It just goes,
Plugs in.
cool,
Yeah.
oh, I know this, I know that. Oh, it goes like that.
Right.
Teletubbies.
Right? Right. But I think for me personally, just like sitting with someone else and talking through it on the phone is great, but at the same time, and maybe, you know, as it evolves on Clubhouse.
So let's
that,
create,
like, I don't feel like
let's create,
being like, hey.
okay, so let's create a Moon and Me Atlanta membership stuff that it's more of a class.
Like a workshop or gathering. type
We
of
can
thing, you know?
we can do that because I'm letting go of the digital. I'm creating the digital VCoin, and maybe you use your VCoin for, let's put it towards a class that's got structure. So I can talk with this for hours. I can be here 2 days, and the more I'm in it, the more I get. So I can go for days on this. You've got to understand that. So I also need to switch off.
Right. Well, and also, I mean,
Because I'll tell you where the imbalance is for me. Phenomenal information, but look how many people are benefiting from it.
right. Well, and
That's
not
the
too much.
imbalance for Vanda.
Yeah, you can't give too much because
Because then
it's
you, okay,
uncomprehendable.
no, it's not that. Who gets stuck? You guys.
Right.
Whose responsibility is that?
We get stuck if we have too much information.
Right. It's too of a higher vibration. So maybe what you guys do is we start having an opening Moon and Me night.
Oh my God, your hair has made a perfect 8 right there on your.
Oh my gosh, a total infinity.
I told you there was an 8 somewhere. I'm vibrating it right now. This is an infinite loop for me. So this is where the thing is. Who do I go share this with? And so we need to maybe open it up.
And even if it's something that you can't lead and it's just the community doing something, I don't know. I mean,
I
would
think
love for to do
I
it.
think you guys need to have an open night and start talking about. You guys can do it. Why not?
I would love for you to lead it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
Mm-hmm.
either or.
Well, if she
You know,
leaves
if
it,
you don't
then
want
there's
to-
going to be a charge.
Right. Exactly. Well, that too. But rightfully so. And it's more information, more insight, more that we're getting out of it. But I think it's twofold, right? It's more information. It's also building the community and relationships and
We can do
understanding
it.
together.
I can do, you know, either after your full moon. We can do just before the full moon. I want to do for full moons is I want to have parties.
I was gonna say we should have like full moon.
I want to have a
dance,
full
yeah.
moon now. As soon as the weather changes, I want to at night. I just want to seal everything. I want outside everything in, and I want to do a moon
That sounds
a
fun.
moon rave. That's what I want. Yeah, that's what I want.
Don't get mine.
So everybody can rave with drugs. Why can't we rave with moon and me?
Or do both.
Please do it. Why can't we raise the vibration? And you don't need anything. We could rave it up with just how we're feeling. So
I got lots of lights too.
right. So I definitely want to do. So I don't want to do the full moon like that on the classes.
Maybe
Because
a
it
new
won't
moon
be
and
sustained.
intentions or something.
I think I would rather probably do it in a new moon. Maybe a new moon talk and then full moons. And I wouldn't do a full moon party every season. I would probably do it every 3 months.
Definitely Superman, like this one. would have been.
Yeah, super moon now. This would have been a great one.
Are you still gonna do your YouTube videos?
Yeah. So we're going to do YouTube videos and we are going to put a calendar and a structure to it.
I have a
Which
question.
we've had a million times.
Idea. If
Yeah.
you're gonna be doing the YouTube videos for the new moon, you could do it then if you wanted. Like kill two birds with one stone. Like make this your YouTube video rather than have to redo it again. And having the little class or get together or whatever.
Just FaceTime Amy. No, I'm just joking.
We'll talk offline.
just FaceTime her on a full moon.
Whatever.
Yeah, right. I'm in your driveway.
Right.
I don't know why we don't
It is-
know. This is just beyond. I mean, yesterday Molly and I were maybe 20 minutes on the phone and just going through with her, and then when I got off the phone, I went through more and I'm like,
Every person I talk to when I
So
talk to
spot
someone
on.
about it, I always get more. It doesn't matter if
oh,
how
every
new
time I
they
do
are or
it,
how
yeah.
much they know. It's like no matter what, if I have
It
a
helps
conversation
you,
about it,
yeah.
I see a different perspective and I go deeper on my own once I get off.
Every time.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
It's amazing.
It really is.
And I want more.
And it's a shame you only have 2 weeks on, I mean, you have it, then you.
But that's exactly what it's supposed to be.
It's so awesome.
Because by the time I introduce the 8 beat count, which is your awareness of it, you don't have 2 weeks. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because you don't even have the day after. You have that moment and that is it.
Oh, wow.
You don't have 2 weeks. I can't allow you to even think that. You're too close to
Nailed
me.
that one yesterday then.
You don't have 2 weeks. You don't have 3 days. I don't want to really do these classes because it's not the truth. You got to understand. I'm not selling anything. I'm telling you. I'm getting you ready.
Yeah, they're right.
And I'm like, I don't know. This is not the truth.
Well, why just do the video like right when it happens?
Whatever one works at the moment.
Because
you like wait a couple of days usually. Like
no shit.
The cafe I am.
Do you know what's going on here?
All caps.
All hell breaks loose. This one's that. No, Vanda need a video, and then Vanda need a video, and then
Yeah.
Vanda need a video.
We're doing like there's a lot that's going on.
Yeah.
Everybody's rising.
And then it's Vanda. I'm like, all right, fuck, I need to do a video.
I feel you.
Right. And the truth is that to go now this video works and we're gonna get it because I've decided I'm going to do it now, irrelevant or whatever. But it can't be afterwards. It's gonna be in that we're getting into that space. Okay, it's now.
So this is
Like some
right
people
now, when
2
you
weeks
read it.
afterwards they're telling me they're doing the moon and me. I'm like, please
missed
don't
the
do
boat,
that. I'm like, please don't do that.
Now you're
But
living in the
I'm going
pussy
to
again
tell
already.
you, I'd rather let them do that than not do anything because that information is so beautiful. So it's like,
God, it's now.
rather do that than not do anything. Because a little bit late, you'll cram it in somewhere in your space, But that's not the truth. I want to tell you right now, that's not the truth. The truth is in this moment right now.
So you're on that.
Yes. When you
In this
read it.
moment right now, I have a decision to make. Where am I going? What am I doing? How I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling great.
Mhm.
That's it.
Wait, no.
Beautiful.
How you guys feeling?
Awesome.
Great.
I loved it, dude.
Yeah, dude. I was just doing
The show's declines.
It's awesome.
Okay, so maybe we can bring, I don't know.
Maybe because I was doing something else.
Ooh, he declined the moon and he did.
We can bring what?
Let's do Moon and Me open art.
Open night?
Yeah, like an open house.
Yeah. We should.
It's really
We
nice
should
to
do-
have that work.
We should,
Mhm.
in my opinion, I think we should have a, for the new moon, we should do a new moon celebration. Let's start it.
Oh, there you go. Come on.
Okay.
Let's celebrate
No, talk
That
about
the new moon.
I want to celebrate the new moon.
But that could be the open house day, where we have this new moon. We
Let's do a
celebrate.
party.
Okay.
I want to talk to anybody.
Okay, then we don't have to talk.
Can party.
We should have a party.
Should we
Yeah,
have
no.
like a
Bring your
hologram
V-coin.
Vanda that does
Bring your
it?
V-coin. Good day to spend your V-coin.
I think we just need to have a celebration.
I agree.
Yeah.
Let's party.
We wouldn't need a party. Oh, that's like heaven right there.
I think we should come in dressed as the moon.
Coming up the stairs.
I see you.
Can I come as a star?
Yeah, you can. Right.
That would be funny.
I'll have Kyle dress as a moon and I'll be me.
I think
And Adam and Ann.
Right. Okay, guys. Awesome, awesome,
you.
awesome.
Thank you.
Right.
Do you want us to take a deep breath? We were starting that earlier.
Yeah.
Huh?
Take our deep breath.
Right, take a deep breath in.
This is what we got there. We have those.
Oh, Juliana's going to be so upset she missed this. You guys are working it. There's a consistency pattern for a first time you're in a room.
7, 8.
Told you the 8 was around.
Oh
I saw a thread connecting us all.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah? What did you see?
I wasn't seeing, I was feeling.
What did you feel?
I felt the whole vibration going through my body.
Right, what did you feel?
I guess I was feeling the letting go of all the stuff that
Right.
didn't work
Yeah.
on.
And the more you do it, the better.
I felt energy coming out from all around, like a circle. pushing out.
Right, you? Love? You?
Same as my Scorpio. Vibrations.
Right,
Yeah.
you?
I saw a lot of pink and goosies and the vibration just going, but it was like,
Right. Okay, so what happens is, yeah, so, okay, so what we need to do, Michael, and Dolly and Dana, right, maybe everybody just help us, for you guys to get this and the rest of the community doesn't, starts triggering people, right? Like I could see Juliana, I saw Vishay, I saw a lot of people that, oh man, like if Amy wasn't here, she would have
be like,
caused a
what the
little
fuck
twist
y'all
there.
did moon and me
Right.
and tell me
Did
that.
your text not go through again?
I'm gonna take this myself.
Okay, let's go.
Yes.
All right, let's somebody really help with the communication so that everybody is able to get it. Maybe just share it out today. But obviously the juice of it was here.
We gotta get on the same Wi-Fi so I can airdrop it.
Okay.
Now it's giving it to me.
Does anybody want the recording?